Celebrating our heritage, we are stepping into a bold new future. Join us. Telkom, moving with you.
All right, welcome back to Jeff Koinange Live, powered by Telkom. Telkom, moving with you. Our guest tonight, if you're just joining us, is COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli. We've been asking you the question, should Francis Atwoli retire from COTU and maybe seek, elective office? Tweets coming in very thick and very fast. Karama Ondigi, you say, he should retire from COTU but not join politics. All right, and then Esther Anindo Ayuku, you say, don't retire and don't resign, please. All right, let's get right to the questions. SG, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to see you. How's
Hi,
everything?
Jeff.
Okay, you right?
Hi, Jeff.
You talked about Babu earlier on, okay? But before Babu, look, NASA met with Jubilee and IEBC today to chart out the way forward. Because there's grievances on both sides, as you well know.
Absolutely.
It looks like nobody's giving in. Nobody's prepared to give in, even though Chebukati insists elections are on the 26th. Is this going to happen?
The only person I think who can unlock this is the president.
How?
And the Dayon of the opposition politics in Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga. Two of them must meet.
They have to meet.
They have to meet.
In a room somewhere.
In a room somewhere and agree. And then someone in Chebukati and tell Chebukati this is the way forward. We have agreed on.
Are you saying Chebukati doesn't have a backbone?
You know, the problem is that I met him in May. I think around May 15th and on 1st of August, as officially as COTU, not as a fellow lawyer, but officially as COTU, and with my colleagues, to impress upon him and to give him a little bit history of 2007, 2008, what we went through. And I told him to have some shock absorbers and be a serious person because he's leading an independent commission.
And you told him both those times?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said, oh, he's prepared, he will do this and that. But you see, the way I look at him, he's not prepared for anything.
No.
He's not assertive. Because in his position,
Yeah.
he can be able to summon the candidates.
Yes, the two principals.
The two principals.
Yes. And he hasn't been able to.
He hasn't. He's behaving as if, as if he's working under a certain unknown authority.
If you were Chebukati.
This would have been a bygone case. Because I would summon all of you and tell you this is the way forward. Where do you think we can be able to make amendments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this man's problem then? He's got a position. I mean, he was elected chairman.
Yeah, and he's very well educated. He's a lawyer of very high caliber.
So what's his problem?
I think assertiveness. And this is an inborn quality. He might be lacking it, I don't know. Because he must show leadership. That is what that position calls upon him to do.
Yes.
You should not be begging for ways and means
No.
of sitting somewhere
No.
and waiting. Or, sometimes he feels as if I did this, or NASA will say that, or if I do this, Jubilee will say that. He's there to be in between of the two.
Yes.
And then to give away or to plant a sense of direction into Kenyan masses.
In fact, Ezra Chiloba, the CEO, is the one who's more assertive than Chebukati.
And if it were me, that man would have gone home like yesterday.
Chiloba?
Yeah, because he's the center of controversies.
Chiloba would have gone?
Like yesterday.
Why?
Because once, he's the CEO.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes I hear them saying, oh, everything, the blame should be forwarded towards the chair. It is not the chair. He is the CEO of IEBC.
And he promised a credible election.
Absolutely. He would have, I don't know what I would have done, but he would have been resting somewhere. Not in that particular position.
No.
Yeah.
He'll be gone.
Completely. Because he's the administrative arm of IEBC. And all these problems we are in, it is because of him, not
Yes.
Chebukati.
And yet he's insisting he's not going.
I don't know.
SG, do you think we're going to have an election in 28 days?
And if we are not careful, you see, we don't want to go through what we went, 2007.
No, we don't.
2008.
Yeah.
And you see, Kenya is a strategic country in East and Central Africa, or on the entire continent, as far as the issues related to economic development, issues related to investments, issues related to communication, issues related to
IT,
everything.
Yeah.
People are looking at us, this country. People are looking at South Africa. People used to look at places like Nigeria and Egypt. And we have been a stable country and a country with able manpower to move whatever area of our concern or of the international community's concern is called upon.
Yes.
And when we start dragging our feet behind, arguing on small things, we cannot be able to carry out elections, we cannot listen to our judiciary, we cannot be able to do things as per the requirement of the law, then people are doubting, is this the country that has produced the international advisors in various fields, you know? So I think it is good for both parties, NASA and Jubilee, to strike a compromise as soon as possible.
Well, you know, each side keeps saying the compromise is Nusumkate.
No. I don't think that is the way forward. Some of us would not support that.
No.
Because you see it is degrading that you are in politics because you want to share government. Yeah. Let people go to the elections. Let us vote. Whoever emerges a victor is a Kenyan. Let him lead. If you didn't win, we need also opposition.
Sure.
Yeah.
But this grandstanding,
there are issues that are put forward to be resolved before. There are some demands NASA have put forward.
But each day those demands keep growing, the latest being Safaricom. Now the blame is squarely on Safaricom for transmission.
Yeah, but somebody else who is technically able should come out and explain. And I think the Safaricom boss tried to explain. He should be technically challenged. If what Raila is saying is not true, but we cannot say each day demands are going up. Those are the things that should be resolved. And they can only be resolved if the two parties can agree to sit on one table and amicably resolve those issues.
Yeah, but you know what they say, when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers.
That is why we are saying any Kenyan of goodwill should embrace upon them to reach to one another. That is the only one way.
Do you see us having an election in 28 days?
We can, if there is a good, what we call good political goodwill, or a better way as far as our politics are concerned. So political goodwill is the most important, is the key.
But you're a Luhya elder statesman or Kenyan elder statesman. Why don't you talk to them? You're the same guy who said the Luhyas will all unite and vote together, by the way.
And indeed they did.
They did not?
They did.
They did not?
They did.
Not?
They did.
Come on, man. Jubilee got inroads in Luhya land, in Western.
Yeah, if they campaigned well, that is what is all about democracy. Democracy does not mean that you should take everything. It's on give and take. Yeah. So if we have some few Jubilee representatives in Western Province, that exhibits the really Luhya democracy. Yeah.
Did you unite
And they should not be blamed for that, but they have leaders.
But look at them now. Look at the Speaker of the Senate, Ken Lusaka. Right? Look at Otuoma. Who else has moved to Jubilee? Babu Namwamba. I can go on and on.
Yeah, but you see, these guys lost election. And what they are doing, they have got to look for a job. What will they be doing? They are used to be in public life. They are used to, and indeed they really lost. Only what I pity is that if you are governor yesterday, you lose elections tomorrow, you are rushing to Jubilee. Who will believe you? Who will believe you? People will say, this man, what is bringing him here is a question of hunger. They will not see you as a serious leader. You need to take some leave about 6-7 months, and people ask, where is our governor?
Yes.
Where did he go?
Yeah.
Or where is our former MP?
Right.
You lose today, tomorrow you are there singing on platform, now supporting on the other side. The other day you were on the other side.
Right.
You are a puppet. You are not a serious leader. People should be, you should disappoint. When you lose elections,
Right.
you cannot jump to another political party immediately and say, I'm now going to that because I lost elections.
Yeah, but they say there's
disappear
nothing,
for some time, about 6 months or so.
but there's no such thing as permanent enemies in politics.
Absolutely, it is not because you are against that party, but take leave.
And go where?
Yeah.
They'll forget you if you take leave.
You have got to recap what happened. Why did I lose these elections? Yeah.
So Ken
What
Lusaka,
happened?
So Ken Lusaka, it wasn't a good idea?
No, but maybe he thought he would be jobless. Let me go and look for a job. But if it were me, I
Yes.
would disappear for a year.
And go where?
I take a stock of what happened. Why did I lose these elections? Was I not wanted?
Yeah.
Did I have a support? And I will carry out research also. If 99% of my own people didn't want me, why should I go and cheat others that now are following? I will make you go through. And there was,
Yeah.
I was rejected. It is not good. To me, I think leaders should learn to be serious and to be highly principled. You were in another party yesterday.
Yeah.
And then because you have lost elections, you are coming to tell me now we want to support you.
Right.
People will want, and even your family should be able to ask you. You are coming with Jeff Koinange here, telling us that you are supporting Jeff Koinange.
Yeah.
You have lost elections now, you are coming with Francis Atwoli. How serious are you? Huh?
But it's politics.
Even my wife should be able to ask me.
Yes.
How serious?
But it's nothing personal.
It is not personal.
No.
But you should have some elements of principle. You should show some qualities of leadership.
Yeah.
You should be a person that people can depend upon. But if today you lose election, you jump into this political party, who will believe you? Who will believe you? Yeah.
So if
let me tell you for
Go
a
on.
while. Yeah, even if today you are in the ODM,
Yes.
or you are in NASA,
Yes.
you have lost elections there. The following day, you are in the deputy president's office or in the president's office,
Yeah.
telling him, that man was this and that. Do you think he's a fool?
No.
He knows this guy lost election.
And he'll tell you
He's
anything.
here for something.
Yes.
Yeah, even if you go to platform dancing like this, that I'm now jubilee, you don't say, what is this guy doing? Huh?
Right.
And if you have serious members of the family like me, my children will be at me.
They'll be-
Ask me, Dad, what
Yes.
is this you are doing?
Right.
I thought you were a serious guy. You didn't have anything to eat, a cup of tea at home here. You stay with us for a year before you make a decision.
The other thing, SG, you had said yourself
Yeah,
that in order for the president to win this last election,
Yeah.
he had to do two things.
yeah.
One, dismantle NASA, and two,
Was.
rig.
And then what was a rider if he rigged?
It would be an uphill task.
And what are you seeing now?
An uphill
Has it not come to pass? Has it not come to pass? You can remember. You can remember.
Yes.
That is true.
You called it.
That is where we are now. And I told you, our head of state is a good man. He means well for this country.
Yeah.
But he has no advisors. That's what I told you.
Yes. And why can't someone like Atwoli advise him?
There are people who are... it is not only him. Once you become powerful, maybe even on NASA side, once you become a powerful...
There's a
you
kitchen.
There is a kitchen cabinet. They will always block you from knowing the real truth of what is happening in order to exploit their presence next to you and earn a living. It's almost everywhere until when you sink, and they will leave you sinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you have sunk, they will say, you see, we used to advise him.
Yeah.
But this guy, you cannot be able to advise him and listen to you. So it's up to you.
But you did try to advise him. Let's face it, you tried to advise him the day Maraga made his announcement, the judgment.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And then he came out, he gave a press conference.
Yes.
And then you came out and you told him what?
I said, as a head of state, he's a custodian of our constitution. And he did carry up a Bible, promising Kenyans that will protect the Constitution and defend it. Why do you now say these are wakoras? How? When you call the Chief Justice and his team, the learned judges are wakoras, and you know very well that we have three arms of government: legislature, parliament, and the executive.
And judiciary.
And judiciary. Where are you putting yourself if you are now blaming one arm of the government? If it were me, I would have behaved as if nothing happened. And I would have pressed the court. Because now there is no reverse. There is nothing you can do.
No.
Yeah. So what do? You put on a brave face and you say our judiciary and our democracy has matured. And I want the world to know that Kenya's democracy has matured. We respect the ruling of our Supreme Court. We respect it. And we will abide with it to the latter.
But you know, afterwards he did admit that he's human, right? And what he had said, he said, look, I don't agree with the ruling, but we have to live with it.
Yeah, but you don't go further than that and say, he in wakora. How? Some of us, we have been following their history. These are serious people. I worked with Wanjala on the Anti-Corruption Commission. Smoking. He's a very serious guy.
That guy?
When things were not going well in that commission, he just resigned. He said, I don't want to change my name.
Yeah.
He called a press conference at Hotel 680.
Yeah.
And he resigned. This is a serious person.
Chief Justice?
I have worked with Leneola because I've been the chair of the East African Trade Union Confederation for East Africa for 15 years in East Africa with an office in Arusha, where Justice Leneola works. This is a serious guy. All the time you'll see him in books. All the time you'll see him, he's a man of international stature in the world of law.
Yeah.
He's not a person you can just brush off like this and then you say, these are wakoras. And Chief Justice, let me tell you, this man, he's a really Christian. My mom was a Seventh-day Adventist. That is a very serious charge. Those people believe in really God. Even on Saturday, they don't work.
At all.
So how do you call such an old man? A very well-educated, versed in issues of law. He has been around for some times. He was tested and given that job.
Yeah.
How do you call him a mkora? You just put on a brave face and you say, our democracy, our judiciary, our executive, our legislature is of mature nature.
Yeah.
And that is where Kenya we are. You can compare us to the United States of America. You can compare us to the countries under the European Union.
Yeah.
We are developed like another country. We are no longer a developing country. And we can put up, the court can give rulings and we will respect it. And I respect it. And I'm sure I will go out there campaign and be re-elected and get my position.
That's what he should have said.
That's what he should have said. And he would have been respected world over.
Yeah.
But when you start arguing, you know, he asked Kenyans, and I also believed him, that let NASA guys go to court. I issued a statement supporting them.
Right.
I supported them. I said, let my own brother-in-law, Raila Amolo Odinga, and Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, go to court. Let them move to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Because Orengo had said we are not going to go to court. We appealed to them, we Kenyans, you go to court. When I tell you go to court, I should be prepared for the outcome of the court.
Sure. You know, and maybe...
You can't win a case. I advised you to go, and I come back and say, that is a court of wakoras. You know? And you know when you say like that and you are a head of state, what example are you trying to show the people that you lead? You are showing them that they should defy courts.
Sure.
Yeah? So when they defy courts...
Is that why NASA seems to be always a step ahead?
No, let me tell you. Even me, I think Uhuru would have not lost this case. But it is due to bad advisors. Let me tell you something, Jeff. When I was growing myself, I didn't grow up with my age mates. I grew up with people who are older than me because I wanted to learn more.
Where are you?
Now when I'm aging now,
Yes.
yes. I'm now aging very fast. I don't want to see my age mates around. What will they tell me? I want young people around me, people who are fragile, people who are well versed in so many things, people who can run fast that I can tell them, I want this, I want you to get me this. Those people who can enter into an IT system and tell me, look, this is where you need to go, this is the way forward.
Right.
And people who can advise me. Very early in the morning, they have gone through all papers and they tell me this is what's happening on this particular front.
Yeah.
So you cannot, and I will tell you what, you cannot have a court case currently. And then you go to the old lawyers. You bring a bunch of old lawyers in court. The law they knew about 50 years ago is no longer applicable today. Look, NASA. NASA had very youthful lawyers, very sharp, compared to Jubilee.
Yeah.
You know, the judge asked a simple question.
Yes.
If you are going to vote my colleague, my friend, and then you are given 6 ballots, and you want to vote only for one person, where do you take the rest?
The other 5. Simple.
All these lawyers would not be able to answer that simple question.
Yeah.
It's not technical, it's a straightforward question.
It was.
Nobody could stand up and say this. Who would have given me these ballot papers? The man who is in charge of that particular polling station.
Yes.
Then I will take these papers back to him.
Simple.
It's simple. What does do with the papers? That is now a question to ask Jeff Koinange.
Yes. It's up to them.
To them.
But you
whether they
voted-
have some records, whether they have something,
Yes.
they will record. But I have voted and gone.
Yes. And nobody could answer that.
Nobody could answer that. Another thing, the court issued some orders that go and open observers and the rest and so on. And these people, it couldn't occur in their heads
Yes.
that, that let us advise IEBC to open up their servers. And you know, in engineering, we have 2 segments in engineering, for those people who did engineering. We have mechanical engineering and scientific engineering. IT is part of scientific engineering. Where there is serious engineering is in mechanical engineering. Because if you are repairing a bicycle or a motorbike, it must move and you must have a right part. If it is a motor car, you must have
The right part.
yeah. If it's a plane, you must have a right part.
Correct.
If it is a computer to work, you must have a right part. But in scientific engineering, there is a lot of guesswork. And IT belongs to scientific engineering. And if somebody, a lawyer, would have advised Jeff Koinange, you open those observers. Let NASA bring their experts, Jubilee bring their experts. It will be a question of argument.
Who's right?
Who is right, who is wrong?
Yes.
Who hacked? Or at 17:30 hours, this somebody entered into the system. The other says that is the time the system was being opened and it must reflect in ASAFA. But you opened it. You are now arguing on technicalities.
Yes.
It is like law. The interpretation of law by several lawyers, the answer is not the same.
Correct. So you're saying
It's
this
like economic issues.
Yeah.
If you go and carry out an economic research on a given enterprise or something, and I do the same on the same, we are 2 different economists. The formula might be one, but the answer will be different in terms of figures, in terms of what.
and Jubilee wasn't able to argue that.
They couldn't. The lawyers were there, and see how Otiende Amolo. Look how Orengo, they were making their presentation. Look, even a very competent old lawyer, Firoz Noriji, how he summed it up.
Yeah. But this side, there was Ngatia, and there was Muite, and there
No,
was
let me tell you.
Grand Mullah.
What we need to do is to accept that there are limitations in the activities of a human being. And when you are aging, first and foremost, the thing that you start now losing, one is memory. And when you start losing memory,
Yeah.
you also lose the things you knew 20, 30 years ago.
Are you saying that Ngatia is older than Orengo?
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. what Ngatia should be doing now, he can be a good judge. Because as a judge, there are a lot of young lawyers advising, reading for him, directing him, advising him, but not arguing in courts. And if I listened to the submissions from both sides up to the end, honestly speaking, NASA had bright lawyers. And this is what you need to do. So you don't blame an animal that you are hunting when it has disappeared in the bush, and you don't blame the hunter. That what tools was that hunter using? This is the situation we are in. But that, having said that, let us come down. The current situation.
Yes.
The current situation calls upon us, all of us, to be sober, to apply the highest degree of sobriety, and try to reach to one another and impress upon dialogue.
And what if they don't? Because it doesn't look like it's happening.
If they don't, then with the supporters, we will clash. Is it in the best interest of this country for us to clash?
No.
We will lose jobs. We will be referred to as a banana state.
Yeah.
We will be laughed at after having managed our elections all these years.
Correct.
Why shouldn't we be able to manage our elections now? In whichever way. So I think people should impress upon the two parties, particularly the head of state. He should swallow his pride and reach out on Raila. Raila should swallow his pride and reach out on Uhuru.
Maybe you should reach out to both of them since people listen to you, SG.
Indeed, all of them, they are my friends.
Yeah.
But the problem is, will they listen to me? Because I'm not in the mainstream of politics. Though I happen to be a Kanu up to now, because that is the part I was in before I became COTU Secretary General.
You're still Kanu.
I'm still Kanu.
But they would listen to you because, people listen to you.
They might not. Sometimes people say, oh, this is just a trade unionist. Oh, this is a trade here. They don't know the power he yield outside there. They say, oh, this is a guy. Oh, he's just a noisemaker. We can't just listen to him. But when I predicted what will have to happen to you, and it has happened, it has come to pass.
Yes.
If they were listening to me at that time, somebody would have come to me and asked me, Francis, what is the way forward?
Yeah.
And I'm an elder. I've been around for some time.
Yes. On
3rd of September this month, I was celebrating my 50th year as a labor leader. I was first elected as a shop steward on 3rd of September in 1967. So I'm not just a pushover. You can say, oh, this guy here. And sometimes when people see me having my cup of coffee, they say, where is this man? Where did he get money? Why is he doing this? And I've been waking up 2:45 from 1967 to date. To make sure that I'm in the office at 5.
Every day?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
What time do you get to the office?
5. If you come to my office by 5, I'm there. Ask anybody who knows me. By 5 a.m., I'm in my office. I'm working out on paperwork, trying to do this, before I go out there for either social partners meetings, either in the Ministry of Labour or the Federation of Kenya Employers, or in the other places where I represent workers as a director or as a trustee,
I see you haven't been able to help this nurses' strike end. What's the problem here?
The problem is the Ministry of Labour. It's understaffed and it has lost direction.
The Ministry of Labour?
Ministry of Labour. Because the Ministry of Labour houses experts in industrial relations practice or in labor relations practice. So when it breaks down, then there are problems. You cannot leave nurses to be handled by the Ministry of Labour officials who have no bias in industrial relations practice, who are not trained labor officers, or to be handled by governors who are laymen in industrial relations.
The governors want to fire them all. They want them fired.
Because they don't understand dynamics in human resource management. So how do you... So these nurses, they are on their own.
And why
their demands are legitimate.
Why can't Atwoli step in and help out?
Yeah, but there should be somebody to bridge. And this somebody is government. And the government provides an enabling environment to sort out such like disagreements.
4 months they've been on strike. 4 months.
Because there is nobody from the government. And the government is the Ministry of Labour. under the supervision of the Labour Commissioner.
Maybe you should be CS Labour.
Huh? No, what we are saying is that...
No, I'm just saying.
We were praying that we have good elections. We don't enter into this tussle that we are in now, so that we would have advised the government, the new government, to work out on the Minister of Labour.
Okay, if there was a government, after the elections, whichever government comes in, would you be interested in a CS position post?
Oh, how? It's me to employ a CS. A CS can't employ me. I speak for Africa, number 2 in the world. In the world of work.
You speak.
How do I lower myself? That I'm telling you for sure and for free.
Come
Even
on.
if I was appointed as CS tomorrow,
today, yes,
I would ask the president to hand over that position to one of my children. Honestly. How do you make Francis Atwoli a CS? A most celebrated Labour leader in the world.
Correct.
How do I lower?
All the more reason for you to help us solve our Labour problems.
Then I must be at a higher position. I can advise them for free. Yeah. If the president, for example, allowed me to do that job to assist him, I would do it for free. Not as an appointed leader.
Hutaki Bendera?
No.
Huh?
No. I have told you, Jeff, if I live with you here, and there are a lot of Kenyans, and they know that.
Yes.
We go in an African country or in any country. I arrived there today. My colleagues in the labor movement, the following day, they organized my meeting with the head of state. Everywhere I go. And I will be representing this country effectively and representing Africa, talking on issues of economic dynamics, issues of unemployment in the continent, issues of poor economic performance in various countries in Africa, issues of political nature, issues of our young men and women dying in the Mediterranean looking for green pastures overseas. In Europe. These are the things I handle at a higher level.
So CS is too small for you?
Very small. How many CSS do we have?
18.
How many Secretary Generals of COTU do you have in this country?
Well.
Yeah. How many?
One.
Higher. In Africa, who speaks for Africa?
Atwoli.
The Organization of the African Trade Union Unity, whose the founding first secretary was the Kenyan Dennis Akumu, an agent of the African Union, and which handles issues in a tripartite way with all ministers of labor and social affairs on the continent. I am a member of that body, which sits in Addis Ababa.
Is that
Do I lower myself here to wait on Thursday to go and sit in the cabinet that the Muhoroni sugarcane cutters are on strike, Mr. CS? Now tell us, the nurses are on strike now, Mr. CS.
Yes.
Well, do I need to lower myself to that level? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Never.
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 Is that why you once said that you're the third most powerful man in Kenya?
Absolutely.
Third.
You can carry your own survey or your own research.
You're number 3.
I'm number 3.
Who's number 1?
His Excellency the President.
Number 2.
Raila Amolo Odinga.
Number 3.
Francis Atwoli. No another person. You can carry out a research. We have some other popular people around here.
Yes.
But are they popular positively or negatively? You can be popular. We had, we are bordering Nyanza in Western Kenya.
Yes.
There was a cattle rustler in Nyanza from Seme, known as Migele. This man was a popular man in Nyanza and Western for a simple reason that he could come to your house at night. He cooks, he enjoys, he slaughters chicken. He does everything in your house when you are sleeping. And then the following, around between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m., he takes away the whole, the whole herd of cattle you have. He moves away, he goes away with everything, with all your animals.
After cooking?
After cooking and eating. He was very popular. Was he popular positively or negatively?
Negatively.
Yes. So you can be popular. You are a fraudster. Yeah. You can become popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who?
So many people here.
Name two.
who are in fraudulent business. They are very popular.
Name two.
I can't name one, but it requires a research also to know how many are they. Because 99% of Kenyans, one day I told you, are thieves. 99%. Just 1% of Kenyans are honest.
And what's Atwoli?
Oh, you know me very well. I wouldn't have been surviving. You have asked here a question, how many people would like me to retire?
Yes.
If I was involved in malpractices or issues of corruption, or I sign a CBA after I've been given some money somewhere, or where I sit like on NSSA board, or where I sit like NBK, I was involved in very shady deals there. I'm being, the other day, they are waiting for me to appear in court of law on things of that type of nature.
Yes.
Who would believe in me? Who would give me another 5 years term?
By the way, Monica, what are the numbers right now? Do we have them up? The poll we've been asking? Okay, let's get those ready, and then let's take a break, come back, and talk about the way forward.
Absolutely.
I mean, these they need to listen to you, man. They need to. I mean, this country, we can't afford to get into a constitutional crisis.
Absolutely.
What are the numbers, Monica? There we go. 55% of the people say yes, you should retire. 45% say no.
Yeah, they have a reason why they are saying so. Some are looking at my position as if it is a position that when I forget, they will be able to get employment. I'm not employed. This is an elective position.
Maybe you should be a CS.
No way.
Let's take a break. No way, he said.
Let me tell you.
No, you...
Let me tell you. CSS nowadays,
yes,
those who used to emanate or to come from constituencies, they were powerful CSS. The current CSS under this current constitution, these are clerical officers of the president.
Come on.
True.
Come on.
Yes.
Matiang'i.
They don't even make statements in parliament.
Matiang'i and them?
If today the president said he's not there, there would be no effect to him because he doesn't represent any constituency. He's a spokesperson of the president on what the president, and he says what the president wants to hear. Those our ministers immediately after independence, post-independence ministers, these were powerful ministers.
Because they were also MPs.
Yeah, they were MPs.
All right, let's take a break, come back. Keep giving us your answers to the question we're asking. Should Francis Atwoli retire from COTU and maybe seek elective office? He says he doesn't want a CS position. People would kill for that. SMS 22422. Twitter handles at Atwoli Francis, at Koinange Jeff, at Citizen TV Kenya, hashtag JKLive. JKLive takes a break. We'll be back very, very shortly. You say no?
No.
Huh?
No way, my brother.
Bandera.
Watching JKL brought to you by
Telkom, moving with you. Celebrating our heritage, we are stepping into a bold new future. Join us. Telkom, moving with you.